Hello and welcome to this episode of Hungry Like the Cook. My name's Amy. You can actually see my reflection in the board there. We are going to be doing a cold cord chowder. You're going to need corn, bell peppers, garlic, potatoes, chicken broth if you want to add a little flavor. If you want to do the vegetarian, you can skip it, and a little cream and or milk or butter, but I'm going to get to that in a second. And if you want to watch it again, it will be on YouTube later, and the finished product, the photo, is always on Instagram. And if you have food questions that I don't get to because I'm cooking and I don't see them, you can always tweet them to me and I'll ask them later. Let's get started. I'm Amy. And it's National Lipstick Day, so I have my favorite lipstick. It is MAC Girl About Town. So I'm gonna sift your pan here. I've got a little olive oil in it, just a little drizzle. I'm gonna put that on a medium heat. It's National Wing Day. I didn't know that. Got my garlic there, and toss this in here. Toss that in there. Let that get a little brown. Get it to start developing flavor. Now the thing with soup is you have to develop flavor. So this is not going to be like a little 30-minute dish. I will show you all the steps, and then you have to let the flavors develop over time. So we have our corn mixture. I did some fresh corn, but I also supplemented it with some canned corn, a little cream style corn too, because that's going to add some thickness. When you use fresh corn, save these because we're going to add them to the broth while we're cooking, and it's going to help develop the flavor. Our chicken broth. I've decided I'm going to spice it up, so I'm going to add a little bit of red chili. We got our potatoes. I used frozen tricolored veggies from Trader Joe's. So I'll do that. Let me show you. For doing the fresh corn, you're going to want to take a bowl. Get yourself a bowl. Now obviously you need a bigger bowl than this, like one that's a little higher, but basically the concept is like this. You put the one bowl in the other bowl, put your corn on there, and shave down, and it's going to go all in the bowl here, sort of like that. And then and it's going to go all in there like that. And that's how you do the corn without making a ton of mess. Now the garlic, let's check on the garlic. Okay, garlic's getting brown there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add the potatoes. Let them get a little flavor to them. Have a neat little setup here. A little hard though sometimes. I'm going to add a fair amount of salt and pepper. No, there was some oil in there. We're going to add the liquid. Yeah, there's oil. You can hear it. Add some pepper. Fair amount of salt. Now, the chicken broth I'm using does have some sodium in it, so I'm not going to add as much salt. Just mix that in there a little bit. This is going to get a little bit of just crispy taste on the potatoes there. Just a little. I'm going to add the corn mixture. Like I said, I used a mixture of fresh corn and canned corn. Now, you can also do this and you can blend. You can do it with, and just do this part and let it cook with the chicken broth. And then you can blend it. I'm going to add the chicken broth now here. Chicken broth. Now a lot of this is going to simmer off. Now here, if you want, you can let this simmer off, come to a boil, let it simmer off, and you can stick it in a blender or food processor, use immersion blender, you know, the motorboat, and you can blend it up and have a more pureed soup. I think I'm going to go with a more traditional chowder. So I'm going to do that. Add the peppers, add these beautiful corn husks to develop the flavor. And I look always, so little red pepper here. Add the regular peppers. And who knows, I might cook this and decide I want to puree it all after all. And we'll see. Maybe add some tortilla chips afterwards for texture. But the key with soups is to develop flavor. So you're going to have to let it sit for a while, let it simmer, maybe add some, let it go for like an hour or so. I'm going to add some celery salt. That's another reason I didn't go too heavy on the regular salt. And you can add, you know, just spice it to taste. Like I said, you're going to leave these in, take them out. Obviously don't, if you decide to blend it, don't run those through your blender. But take those out anyway after you eat them, because, yeah. These are just for flavor. It's sort of like when you put bones in something to just add the flavor. And you're just going to let that, you're going to bring it to a boil, and then you're going to let it simmer. And in an hour or so, I will have some warm chowder, but then I'm going to let it chill, and I will have some cold chowder. And who knows, I might decide to blend it after. I'll just see what my mood is. See how it tastes here in like 30 minutes. See how the flavors are developing, and give it a go. Again, what the recipe was, we did that. When we get done, when it gets here towards the end, I will add the cream and the butter. Well, the milk and the butter, because what you, instead of, if you don't want to use heavy cream, you want to make a lighter version, you take 1/3 cup of butter, melt it in your microwave, and then add 3/4 cup of milk, which is what I'll do here in a bit. And you'll add it in like the final 10 minutes of cooking, and then you'll have a more creamy soup. You can do it either way. I'm basically flying without a recipe, but I've seen recipes online, ones with cream, ones without, ones that do it this way so it's a little lighter. I've even seen ones where people use a mixture of yogurt and avocado. It's just a personal preference thing. And again, if you want to see the finished product, it will be up there. And I will see you next week on Hungry Like the Cook.